Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. We find ourselves in an awkward position. I'm going to wait a little while because you use up your insurance. Um, so we had gearbox issues last time, and once again, after I made the whole video, I made a little addendum at the end because I'm an idiot. This is the big thing right here, okay? So if you look at the differential, and once again, I pointed this out, but I just want to point it out again. If you're noticing that the truck is running at like really high RPMs at 55 miles an hour and you're in the top gear, that means that your differential, remember I kept saying that there's maybe something wrong with the transfer case or differential. This is the important number right here. Okay, so most of the gears that you have, this is your gear ratio, but the differential makes all the difference. If you look at a truck, understanding how it works a little bit, and I'm not perfect at describing this, but you have your gearbox, and that goes back to a differential back in here, and like a transfer case that has gearing in it, and it's all part of a differential system. And depending on the size of those gears, that's how fast the truck's going to run. So if you have like a 420, which is a pretty big, gear, your truck's going to have more torque and more power, but it's going to have a lower top speed. If you put a smaller gear in there, you're going to end up with higher top speed, but a less torque. So there's a trade-off. If we go with this 18 speed at 330, which personally that's a good balance. You can see most of these transmissions are around 330, 340, 350. These are all about the same. The one that I picked it because it had a retarder. But this is no good for us because unless we're going to do all heavy haul stuff, this is a heavy haul transmission. It puts the gear. This has got a larger gear in here. And if you think about like a bicycle, like if you're riding a 3-speed bicycle, the biggest gear runs the slowest, but you have to pedal real fast to go anywhere. But it makes it easier to go up hills because you have more torque. And then when you switch it into third gear, it's the smallest gear, okay? And you get more speed out of that gear, but when you start going uphill, it's harder because you have a smaller gear. You have to push really hard on the pedals. So you switch it down to first gear, which is the bigger gear, and it makes the front gear and the back gear closer to the same size, which means that you pedal faster. You get more torque, but you don't get the same amount of speed. Basically, it's the same idea. You've got a smaller gear and a larger gear. You can't shift the differential. There are some really technical trucks that you can change the differential out. But in this case, that's not the case. So 330 is actually a pretty small one, but we're dealing with 18 speeds. So you'll see here the 6-speed is a 350 because you only have 6 speeds to work with. 10-speed is a 340. This 13-speed is a 336 and a 330 and a 330. And the reason why they do that is because you now have more gears to work with. So even though you've got that smaller differential, you can always shift down to one of the smaller gears and get that close ratio again to make it easier to get up the hills and stuff like that. So there's a compromise. But this guy's designed specifically for really heavy hauling. Okay, that 430, that is a big gear in the differential, and that is going to make the truck run at 55 miles an hour rather than like 70, 80 miles an hour. So we're going to pop this transmission in. And it's going to cost us $3,000 to do that, but it's worth the cost. Because now the truck will actually be able to perform on the highway. And because we have 18-speed transmission, we still shouldn't have an issue with the heavy haul loads. So there we go. We've purchased it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the job menu, and we'll go ahead and do our job for the day. Usually been going to the external contract simply because you get better jobs available. And right away we have a heavy haul. This is going to Wenatchee for $18,044 per mile. So we may take that one, but let's take a look at the regular freight market now. I was going to both. $60 to Yakima. Everything's going north, man. I'm trying to get out of this region, and I keep getting sucked in. I want to get down by Utah because Utah is coming soon. That's Utah right there. I think they'll do. I bet you they do Idaho next. All right, so let's go ahead and take this to Eugene. It's got 5 hours left. And it's expected on Saturday. Today is Saturday, 5:01. It's expected at 11. Saturday, 5. Man, it's going to be close. We'll try it, though. We got to do it in one sitting. We can't stop overnight. But that's okay because it's early morning, so we should be fine. So let's go ahead and make a U-turn here. So now this truck should be running a lot better on the freeway. We should be able to get higher top speeds, but we still have the torque and the power that we need to pull those heavy loads. But once again, that's, wow, it's not even close, the job. But I mean, we'll take it. It is what it is. Got clearness here, clearness there. But you can see already the speeds are a little bit different. I'm in 6th gear and I'm getting up to almost 25 miles an hour. Before we were in our 5th gear. Before we were in 7th, we were 2 gears further along to get to 25. And so I can't see out of this with this mirror. I still got to get used to this. Truck's pretty wide. Like, we should be at 25 miles an hour in 6th gear. Oh, crap. I got to turn here. Oh. Wow. Illegal turn. Not doing so well in town. So now, yeah, I'm at 35 miles an hour and I'm in 6th gear, and that's where we should be. So that's, yeah, now we've got the right transmission in there. So once again, the differential is going to show you the top speed of the truck. If you're in the 3 to 3.5 area, you should be just fine. If you're going for a heavy haul specific truck, then you want to be in the 4s, but that differential gear makes all the difference. And the same is true, you know, for RC trucks. You can change out the differential. Like I put a larger gear in the differential for Seth's truck, I believe. Like the pinion gear, you can change. It works a little differently, but you can change the pinion gear in an RC car and make it run like really slow or really fast. The smaller the pinion, the faster the car is going to run. But that also puts stress on the system, so it runs hotter. You can see right here, I am in 8th gear. We are at 55, and I still have plenty of RPM left. We could probably get this truck up to 70, 75 miles an hour, no problem. So that was our issue right there. Watch this guy stop at the top of the hill. Let's blast it out and see how fast we can get going here. Still under 1,500 RPM. Still under 1,500 RPM. I'm going to get over. I think we get off here, the Delta Highway. I don't know how the game, let's see. But at 65 miles an hour, we're still under 50. Yeah, and that's what we need. Hey, Grummet, what are you doing? Why do you do this whenever I drive, dog? Go find something to do. Hi, Grammy. You good boy. Who's a good doggy? Ouch! Don't bite me. Get your toy. Get your toy. Go get your toy. It's almost lunchtime. He's getting hungry. Are you hungry? You're so cute. He's a freaking cute dog. Just a nippy as heck. All right. I have a tendency to, I've noticed with this truck, I have a tendency to ride on the left of the lane. I'm trying to get used to that and not do that, but I just naturally seem to drift over. Whoa! Why did the truck stall? That was weird. That was really weird. The truck just stalled. Did you see that? Oh well, what are you going to do? And there's our load right there. One of those two. It's that second one right there. So we'll check in. Ta-da! This feels much better going through the gears. That other one was so short I felt like I was rushing all the time. This is much, much better. So Or take that to Yakima. Your trailer is ready. Yeah, I'm happy with the transmission now. Much, much better. So yeah, if you're doing heavy haul stuff, it's cool that this truck has that transmission. And this truck can be ordered with a motor up to 750 horsepower. So it really is the ultimate, heavy haul setup. But I don't want to do that. I like being able to be flexible. We can do heavy haul, but we don't have to do heavy haul. So, all right, let's raise the cables. Got this nice big long double trailer. Let's see if I'm worthy. Once again, that's the kind of the enjoyment of not owning a trailer, is that we get to experience these different types of loads. We get some long loads, we get some short loads, we get some heavy loads, we get some light loads. We really get to experience everything, and I really would rather do that, All right, so are we clear? I mean, I guess. Oh, wow. Am I stuck on something? Oh, I got stuck on that bump right there. Okay, those guys are turning off. All right, and we're working our way out. Make sure we're getting out of the gate there without getting tangled. I think we are. Yep, we made it. So once again, I've had people tell me I short shift that don't drive trucks. Yes, in a car you would want to rev up. If you're going to try to use all your power, you can rev up higher. Though in a car, I mean, my son's cars shift. You can run the engine up to 7,000 RPM if you want, but in general, you shift at about 2,000, 2,500 RPM in a gas motor. Diesel motors work a little bit differently. They do shift lower, and I'm not a pro or trucker by any means, but it's my understanding that once you get past that torque peak, which is on this engine, it's 1,400 RPM, you want to shift because you're not getting any more horsepower, or you're getting a little bit more, but you're not. The peak is at 1,400 RPM. So if that's the case, why would you run the engine all the way up to 2,000 RPM to get nothing more out of it? It's just like basically a torque curve. So I don't. In general, you want to. Wow, this is like a huge traffic jam going on here. Why did they make me go around this way? But anyway, in general, you want to be able to. Oh, great! The AI is stuck. You want to shift at 1,500 RPM because you don't want to burn up any more gas, and you're not getting any more power above that. So, if you watch the automatic transmission, depending on how you set it, usually it shifts right at about 1,500 RPM. Sometimes it'll shift at 1,700, but oh god, what is going on here? This is the AI. This is the only thing about the AI traffic that sucks. They're stuck. Oh, now they're going to go. Okay, great. I'm going to get a ticket for driving the wrong way. Look at this. They're stuck. These stuck. Welcome to... Oh, I see what's happening here. There. I'm going to get a ticket, but whatever. If I creep... Nope, I'm good. So shady. What's happening is the lights are getting out of sequence and the trucks are getting stuck at the light. That's funny. But here's where it's a little bit different. I'm in 5th gear, and we're just going to hold in 5th gear until we get up this ramp. Because otherwise we're going to lose speed. But we don't have as much torque as we had before because we changed that transmission out. So, but still, see that? It's still got plenty of horsepower to get up that hill. I didn't even slow down. And I gave it full gas, and it was able to pull itself up more. Like adding speed as we went up the hill. So this truck is absolutely fine. And we got a double trailer too. So we don't need that short gearbox. Roger that. We got the pedal to the metal. We are en route to Yakima. Now, I will say one thing I like about these mod trucks and having the CB radio. See how that thing wiggles back and forth? That adds to the feel a lot of the game. It does make it feel like you're really driving a truck. And that the cabin's moving around and stuff. Like it reacts to the gravity, and that's something that they have a couple like bobblehead dolls and stuff like that help kind of that realism feel. So it's pretty cool stuff. Whoa, way over. You're gonna slow down a little bit. I'm going too fast. So yeah, this is the right transmission. We need to go left here, I guess. We're heading north. I'm gonna slow it way down. We've got the wiggle wagons on the back. And we're into the power. I will say after riding in international school buses, they did get the sound down just right. Like, this sounds like an international engine. Power off. Power on. The International Bus Company. But International Harvester, of course, made harvesters. They've made trucks, buses, all kinds of stuff over the years. I don't think they're in business anymore. I'm pretty sure they're defunct, but speed limit's 55, so we're just going to kind of cruise along here. Much, much better experience today, yeah. I'm not racing the engine now, which is good. We'll get better gas mileage. So all in all, we have a happy truck. Welcome to Albany. Grommet, what are you doing? Hey! He's licking my bathroom shower tiles. That's gross. So we're passing Bend. So I'm having fun in this truck. I'm actually planning on... I might buy that other Freightliner when I get the opportunity financially, and I might stick in this truck for a little bit longer and then move over to that truck when I'm ready to move on. But I really actually kind of want to enjoy this truck for a while. As ugly as the front of the truck is and how ugly it looks from the outside, I really actually like it inside. It's got a nice feel to it. I like the way it handles. It definitely handles. It's less squirrely than the Kenworth that I was driving. Probably because I have, the longer, 2 axles in the back. I've got 6 axles altogether versus 4. This truck is just more stable. It is wide, though. I got to get used to not, it's wider than the Kenworth. And I keep going off the road and hitting the berm, so. I swear to God I drive better than when I'm driving in when I'm live on Twitch and I'm rolling off the road all the time. But I'm actually doing a pretty bad job. I've done better today, but on that first video, the last one I put out, I was all over the road. But I just have to get used to keeping the center, the cab over to the left here. We're doing good in the lanes. Stop it, Grommet. Stop it! Don't bite. He's been fine all morning. I've been on the phone and doing stuff, which is great. He's been relaxed and just hanging out. And all of a sudden now he's all nippy. He's nipping my hands, nipping my ring. nipping my butt, chewing on my chair, like, Gromit. He's hungry for lunch. He's ready to go for a walk. So once we're done with this run, I'm going to take my dog for a walk, and then I need to do some real work. But I wanted a little break and to have some fun recording, so here we are, taking a ride in the big truck. I'm surprised the speed has stayed at 55 this whole time. Where are we? We're in Oregon, right? We left from Eugene. Oh, we're coming into to Portland. That's why. So are we taking the road to Seattle? I bet you. Okay, we need to get over. Slowing it down. We may have to switch down a gear, yeah. Roll with it, baby. I'm going to see if we can help. Nope, we need to go down to 7th. We might even need to go down to 6th. Oh, look at that bridge. That's cool. We are up there. Now, in Ohio, we don't have these giant, like, way high bridges, and the issue is the weather. They've learned over the years not to build tall bridges like this in places where it freezes. So when you have the wind that blows underneath the bridge and it cools it off a lot faster than it does the ground, and the bridges will freeze and ice over. If you build a high bridge like that, wait a minute. I think this is the lane I want to be in. Nope. Dang it. Nuts. Let's see what that did to our map. Hold on. Oh, not much. They probably were going to have us, let's see, did I miss the junction? They were going to have us go this way. That probably would have been a prettier ride, but this is going to get us the same place and not really change our destination speed. Those bridges will freeze real quick, and you'll end up with iced over bridge and lots of car accidents. So they've learned over the years not to build them high like that in our states. I was in Cincinnati. When I was a kid, man, I was in Cincinnati. My grandpa, my aunt lived in Louisiana, and my grandma and grandpa once a year would go down to visit, you know. And they took me down with them, my mom and I. And I was probably like 6 or 7 years old. I remember coming back. We came back in February, and we got hit with a blizzard in Cincinnati. And the bridges froze over, and it was, I mean, my grandpa was white-knuckling it the whole way, like trying to keep the car on the road. And this is back when, you know, everything was rear-wheel drive. You know, front-wheel drive, what's that? No, we got to go straight here. Seattle North, okay. And so he was, you know, my grandma was like, "Oh, George," you know. And we were trying to keep on the road and you know, not go off the road. And my grandpa's like, "Oh, just calm down. Like, I got it," you know. And he did great. Now, back then he was using snow tires on his, it was a Chevy. He liked the Caprice Classic. So in the 70s, we had a Caprice Classic wagon, and then during these trips, we had a Caprice Classic sedan, sedan, the 4-seater, or 4-door. And so it was a big boat car, you know, bounced along the road. I learned how to drive in that car, actually. The second one. He had two. He had a silver or a golden one, and then he also had a purple one. And it was like this horrible, like dark purple color with purple seats, and that's the car I learned to drive in, was that purple Caprice. I took the driving test in a Toyota Cressida, but that was my grandpa's other car. He had his little sport car that he loved, and yeah. So in other parts of the world it's called the Cresta, but in the United States it's a Cressida. Anyway, I learned how to drive in that one. Oh, back down to 50 again. Dang it. And so anyway, we were coming back, and he just, it was all over the place. But he had snow tires on that car, and you needed to have snow tires. Back then they had those. They were the ones with the rubber studs. So they had like these white or yellow rubber studs in them that would, grip the road a little bit better when it was snowing out. But he did fine, and we made it all the way home and never had an accident. But driving in the freeway on the snow, there are moments where it's luck, and you're just like, wow, I almost had an accident there. And you just pray that you don't crash, I'm mad at Gromit. He pooed in my living room today. He got scared outside. There was a woodpecker knocking away on the wood and making noise, and he didn't like it. He kept looking around like, what is that? And he wouldn't go to the bathroom. And then I brought him back in the house, and immediately he pooed on the floor. And I'm like, dang it, Gromit. What are you doing, you silly dog? Go to the bathroom outside. But I yelled at him a little bit, but I don't, it's he's a puppy. He's still learning. Try not to be too harsh. Sorry, he's not looking at him. He's messing around by my legs. Don't bite. Don't bite. What are you eating? You're eating something you're not supposed to eat? Yakima East. Obviously, we're going that direction, so I'm a little bit too far over now. It's the Twiddle-Wivel. Twiddle-Wivel. Oh, wow. Slowing down here. Get ready to turn off here. It's weird. Yeah, there's no engine brake. It's weird. I wonder if that's a bug with the model, or if that's something that they did on purpose. This thing will stop fast. I'm trying actually not to give it too much brake. All right, there we go. Just kind of making sure I'm not going off the road back there. My wheels are over the line, which I'm trying to avoid, but nothing you can really do about that. Cool. Now we're going to pick up speed. Looks like we're close already, man. That was fast. Yeah, because we've made our eastward turn. Oh lordy. Because this is safe. Maybe you should have somebody directing traffic right there. That's a poorly designed what do you call it? Intersection, I guess. This should be a pretty drive here, though. Yep. Oregon's a beautiful state. Washington's a beautiful state. We're in southern Washington right now. Look at that. Here's the Cowlick River. Cowlitz. Ooh, it's a deep... Wow, that's way down there. It's quite the... come on. Up you go. And we're at water level again. We must have descended. It didn't feel like it, but... Yeah, this is beautiful here. I would like to... I don't know if I could live here. I don't know. There's so much traffic and but when you get out into this part of the state, which is the mountainous regions, there aren't that many people that live there. I remember there's a cute little town at the foot of Mount Rainier called Enumclaw Of course, that'll be the first town to go when Rainier erupts, but for now, it would be a nice place to live until that happens. And that's where I saw Carmen Ghia, one of those old Volkswagen Carmen Ghias, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Look at the Carmen Ghia. It's pretty neat stuff. I really like this truck. I'm sold. It's got a lot of power. I like the way that we're right up on the road. I know that, you know, in real life, that's not something that a trucker would go for, but I like it as a simulating trucker. I like to be up, you know, can see the road better. And I will say the cab over experience in American Truck Simulator is a little more realistic feeling once again than it is in Euro Truck Simulator, and I think that's just because the roads are wider. Now Euro, and they look, I don't know, once again, this game just looks, wow. There's something about this game that just looks more realistic, and I know they're trying really hard with the ETS2, but I think they're based on the same engine, but this one is just reworked, and they're really spending their time making it beautiful. And I hope you guys are, you know, are digging this game. I really am super impressed with the way it looks. It's a great looking game. We're losing speed coming up the hill here. I might have to shift here in a sec. I've got the cruise control on. The truck is trying hard to hold steady, but what a cool valley that is down there. I mean, that's just really something. Rock slide area. And this is going to be really cool because Pro Mods is coming soon, so we're going to have Pro Mods too. You're going to have both this and Pro Mods. And we're going to have Utah coming out. Utah comes out in a couple weeks here. I'll definitely be touring that, so I'm going to try to get off time. I'm going to try to get jobs into Nevada, and then we'll be ready to go when it happens. Oh, geez. Well, that's dangerous. They really should have had a flagger on that one. Washington State Department of Transportation is not up to snuff anymore. Tell your friends, don't drive in Washington. Oh, wow. This is just gorgeous. Look at this. Oh, I just paid my loan. Must be noon. I got money, though. And we're going to have double money when we get... This is going to double the amount of money I have in my account, so... Wow. There's a dam there. I'm not sure what dam that is. The same dang dam. Wow, that's really cool. Tunnel. I don't think I've ever been through here before. This is really cool. Discovering Washington. Maybe I have. I don't know. Gosh, I thought I had, but... You know what? I think I've been through here going the other way. What a gorgeous place. Slowing it down. Once again, not having a Jake brake's a little bit annoying. That's one thing I don't like about this truck. And once again, for those of you that are you know, familiar with the international trucks, I would have thought they would have had Jake brakes in them, but maybe this model doesn't. So if you're a trucker who's driven older trucks and is familiar with this model international, you know, let me know. This is the... Look at that truck, though. I mean, it's, you know, it is a great-looking truck. I try to take a look at it every time we drive, because those of you are like, what does it look like, Arthur? That's what it looks like. Gorgeous. All right, let's see what's going on here. Should be around that corner, no problem. Yep, there we go. And might as well not accelerate too quickly because where are we entering here? Notches. Speed limit is 35 through Notches. And Yakima's across the river here. Cool. There's a Wersch. We're in Washington, and there's a Wersch in Washington. Sorry, I know. It's Washington. Washington. Depends on where part of the country you're from. I don't think anybody from Washington calls it Washington. However, people on the East Coast call Washington, D.C. Washington. And we are welcome to Yakima, the Palm Springs. Cute little town. Just that side of the mountains. Yeah, I've been here before, so I must have driven down that road. I mean, I don't remember the tunnel in the dam, though, but dang it. You know, when you do a lot of miles and see a lot of stuff, sometimes you kind of, until you've run through it a couple times, you kind of forget. I'm going to get a ticket. Nope, I made it. Whew. Come on, come on, make it. Oh, man. Riding the yellows. Those cars are for sale. You know that? Oh, yeah. Well, that was a very enjoyable drive. I've expanded my driving distance to long distance 2. So these drives are going to be a little bit longer. It means the videos will be more like 40, 45 minutes instead of half an hour. But I figure it's time because we need to start making a little bit more money. Those short trips are only making me $10,000, so now we're making about $20,000 a trip. That'll help advance the game a little bit faster now. I don't think I want to go over that though, because once again, this is like the perfect length for me to not run out of things to talk about. And obviously, sometimes wifey Pooh will come along with me, and she'll be riding along, and then also sometimes we'll be doing this on stream. So full speed ahead. And it looks like we're delivering on the left here. The Wally World. Where do they want this stuff? It's to our right? Okay. I don't know how we're going to get this in the spot. Oh, man. That's going to be really tough, honestly. Let's see if we can do it. Gonna have to overshoot and then come back again. We might have to skip. If I don't get it on this, we're just going to skip it. We should be in. No, we should be good. We should be good. There we go. So we've delivered our double trailer load to Wally World in our cool international truck. What do you guys think? It's pretty cool. Like I said, I like it. The model, once again, it's such an ugly truck, but still, I like it. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of American Truck Simulator as we made our way back up into Washington State. And we'll be trying to head back south again, getting some jobs into Utah when it comes out. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. Bye.